Hello, this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts. Today I'm making another zodiac card. If you haven't watched my other two videos, I'm going to link to them below. I won as part of a prize in a paper craft magazine competition or giveaway. I won these die cut toppers from Polkadoodles, and this came also with a paper pack of smaller items. And yeah, I've already made two cards, and as part of the smaller pack there were these circles here, all the star signs in one, and I really liked that and I was intrigued by it. It also came as this plain one here which you could decorate in the middle, but I had a look out on YouTube and the internet what I could do with these. I found a circle card where this would sort of spin, but it wouldn't spin around the center, it would move out a little bit, and I didn't like that idea. But then yesterday I came across the new release from Lawn Fawn, and they've got a new die that creates I think they call it Give It a Whirl card, and I thought this would be perfect for this motif, and also these little toppers that come with the paper pack. Sorry, no, they come with the die cut toppers here. I will tell you something about this in a moment. But yeah, if you have been watching me for a while, you know I don't necessarily believe in buying dies if I can create a mechanism from scratch, and I'm going to attempt this here. I haven't done it before, but I think I can easily do this. So all I've done so far is I've die cut this here from the sheet. It came on a sheet like this, and I've die cut this. I have a large die here that was perfect for that. And I also, you just saw this one, had glued the topper down here on a smaller circle from WHIRL Card, pardon me, that would cover the middle here. But I used wet glue and it bent the card, and I think this would be bad for the mechanism. So, but because I've got about 6 of these in the pack, I'm not too bothered. So I just took another one, and I decided to use adhesive sheets. This just comes on a big roll, but you can also buy them as A4 or A5 sheets. But whilst I was doing that, I thought it might be worth showing you how I die cut from this, because obviously if I put the adhesive sheet on there, let me just show you what it looks like. I could just cut around this, but I thought it would be neater if I actually die cut this with a die. Maybe lose a bit of an edge, but that doesn't matter. So what I've done is, as I said, I put the double-sided adhesive on there. I've still got the release sheet on here, and then from another project, might have been some vinyl, I've got some more release paper. So I just stuck this on here so that that would not stick to my cutting plates, and I'm pressing this down so that I can see where I need to place my die. Can you see that? I don't know if the camera picks it up. So now I can place my die on here. I'm going to stick it down with my tape, and then when I die cut this, it's perfectly in place, and I don't have anything sticky on my, from the leftover piece here on my die cutting place. And this will be perfect to stick then on another piece of card. I'm going for the pearlescent blue this time. So I thought I'd just show you this first, and then I'll show you how we create the mechanism. Just popping in again. Another way of doing this is, once you've placed it down, hold it against the light, and then you can also check whether you've placed it correctly. I actually had to move mine a little bit. So both methods in combination probably give you the best result. Okay, so I have adhered it. I had to play a little bit around with my nail scissors, because I found the die was actually too big. So I had a bit of residue on the edges and then cut it out after all. But yeah, I think this looks good now. So to create this mechanism, you need 2 circles of the same size, and these 2 circles need to be smaller than the outer circle. The outer circle doesn't have to be that big. I just chose this as it came, and I thought, because I didn't want to cut into the images here, I thought it would be nice to have a circle of that size, and that fit perfectly with this die I had. But as I said, any circle size would work. Just out of interest, if you are interested, I mean, mine's 5.5, the big one, and the small one is about 3.25. Yeah, just under 3.25. So the important thing is that you work with the right measurements, and for that I have cut another circle of this size here, the smaller size, in paper, because that will allow me to find the radius of this card. So I've just used some scrap paper here, so I'm just folding this once and then I'm folding this again, so make sure you are precise there. I will even use my bone folder. Because when I undo this now, I have got the radius and the middle of my piece. So with this one, we need to cut two lines, well, one line on each of these circles. And I want this to be straight, so I have to be a bit mindful what I do there. So what I will do is I will cut this on the line here, so I know where to cut there. I could even, just thinking, I could even cut the top away. I might just do that. I think it will be easy and this won't get in the way then. So I can actually place this down here now. Yeah, this way around, although bottom bit is the one that I need to concentrate on. I should have done it the other way around. I can do it this way because it's a Sagittarius that I want to be straight. All the other elements don't matter. If you are stamping your images, it might be worth doing the cutting first and then you know where to stamp. So I'm just aligning this here. So, and what I need to do now is to cut a line from basically from the edge to the middle there along the radius. And I'm not using my trimmer, I'm just using my scissors, and I'm just cutting right on the line there. I'm cutting 2 layers, so I need to be careful. Oh, and I'm cutting through the double-sided adhesive as well. So that's another layer, but I think this will be fine. There we go. So, and I have to do the same on this piece here. This will be easier because it's not that thick. So, and these should align. Just thinking whether I should have done it from the other side, but it doesn't really matter because it's just in the background, so it doesn't matter where I've got the stitch line. So hopefully these align perfectly. Yeah, it looks good to me. Don't know whether it's a trick to the eye and whether this looks different. I think it's sort of radius. I think it would be fine. So what we also need to do is we need to cut a line in here that's also the same radius. So basically this length here, we also need to have that on the card, and I want it obviously there where I want to place the discs. So I've got my cutting board here, and I've decided to cut on this line, so I will have the Sagittarius at the top here, and I want to cut along this line. So I'm taking my piece again. I could theoretically just use this triangle here and have a look. So basically I need to cut from the center of that image there to the line there. I might go a little bit further out just to have a bit of wiggle room, and I'm just using my metal ruler for that. I think I will just mark with a pencil the middle there. It's all quiet now that I'm concentrating. So I'm just using my craft knife. Again, you could put it in a trimmer if you wanted to. I'm not always confident with a trimmer because I always find it difficult to see. So I'm just cutting through along the line here. Oh, getting a bit wobbly. I'm going just a little bit over the line there. And once I've cut this, I can check. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I'm just checking again. I can do that from the back, that it's wide enough. Yeah. The reason why I said make it a bit thicker, longer maybe, is because I've got a bit of layer, so I need to allow for that. So I might just add just a little bit more here. Just 1 or 2 millimeters. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that now. So the other thing we need to do is we need a little bit of scrap copy paper. I just used some little bit of a letter that will be hidden, and we need a little piece that is first of all folded, as you see this, and again that needs to have the length of that radius. So I can just place it there, just mark it there. And I'd say about, let me just check, maybe just over a 1/4 inch wide. It's just a little connector piece that holds the two circles together. So I might cut it a wee bit shorter because I don't want it to stick out where I've got the curve of the circle. So let me just check this. So that's 1.5 now. So, and what you need to do with that is you need to put glue tape, I suggest, rather than wet glue, on either side of the flap. So I will have to cut this out because I can't find the beginning. There it is. So I might actually cut it a little bit slimmer afterwards. So just placing this on there. I'm just going over the edges. It doesn't matter because I will cut it down again, I think. So cutting it off there, and I will also cut it a little bit slimmer just about this. So I've got glue tape on either side. So what I now need to do is on the circle here, I've got the cut on this side. Let me just zoom in just a little bit. This, I will take the release paper off the back. The open element goes to the top. And I will just place this here on the score line, but not going over. I'm placing it from the side. Now I'll tell you what, I'll turn it upside down. It's the easiest to reach for me. So just above that line, sorry, I did say score line, above the cut line, just put it down like this. Can you see? So, and then I can take the release paper off. And I will take my other piece and basically align the cut line and the whole circle there. Sorry if I'm going off camera, I'm not conscious at the moment that I'm zoomed in. So I'm lining the circle up and the cut line, and when I'm happy with them being lined up, I can press it down onto that glue, and then I should have two pieces that are stuck together. Just use my bone folder there, make sure they're properly adhered. Yeah, so they're just taped together there basically, but the rest is open. So that's the first part of the mechanism. So for the second part, Lawn Fawn provided a die, and I had a look at the shape of the piece you had to cut out, but I think it's easier if I do this with acetate. I have got some acetate on my table somewhere. Oh, it's here. So this is just from Avisa. Any sort of sturdy acetate I think would be good. Not too flimsy, because this will be the piece you will be touching. And their die, I'll just show you what their die looks like. It's got basically the bit, it's got basically the handle, as I would call it. And then it goes down like this. And this is basically follows the curve. I think it even goes out a bit like this, follows the curve of the circle. But I think the reason why they cut this out is because they didn't want to cover too much of the image on the front. But with this being clear, I think all we need to do is have basically a shape like that. And that's what I will be doing. And again, the size depends on the size of your topper. So I'm just, yeah, I think I will just cut it like that. So I'm just using my scissors here, cutting into there. Again, I can use this piece here to cut the edge here. Yeah, just cutting off the little corner here because it can be quite pointy. And I will also use my corner rounder, I think, if it can manage the thick acetate, just to, it looks a bit too big for me. Oh no, because I put it over the top there. You see how it'll sit. I'll show you that in a moment. So I will just use my corner rounder to cut these corners so they're not too sharp. And then I get my red tape out and I'll show you how we stick this on. My corner rounder didn't really work, especially with this sort of angle that was there, but I just used my scissors. And I've placed my red tape on it, but I will cut this strip a little bit slimmer. So I will just cut along here, because we don't need that much. Can you see that? And I will also cut the excess red tape off from the back, so that's not exposed. So let me just show you again what my piece looks like. So I can now take the red tape off. Red tape is definitely the best solution for some acetate. So, and now you need to lift the top circle up, and you need to place this behind the circle there. You've got the curve, so you know where you're placing it. Make sure you've got it straight, and then you want the lever to be straight. And when you're happy with the placement, you can just press it down. If you should have any excess there, you can always cut it off afterwards, but this one sits behind that very nicely. So let me just tidy this away, and I'm zooming out a little bit again, because now we need to place this in this circle, and I hope this works now. So what you need to do is you take your acetate piece here and you feed this through that slot there. And if we've done it correctly, you can feed the whole circle through. Just push a little bit, and then you can turn it then. And there we go. We've got this in here now. It's a bit off center here. That must have to do with the way I cut the circle, but I don't mind this. So have a play with that. Obviously it shows even more. If I didn't have the printed circle on the bottom card, you wouldn't even notice that. So, and all the mechanism does is I will place a little arrow here actually. The recipient can move that around, and then it goes like this, or obviously you would maybe give it like this, have a little arrow on here, and then this turns up. So it's really up to you. I think I have to cut it just a notch more there. It wants to catch a little bit on there, but I can easily do that. So it needs some fine tuning, but for a card that I have made myself without a die, I think this is really good. So it wants to catch a little bit there. I think one thing I will also do is place a little bit of clear tape of sellotape here on the back so it doesn't tear. So yeah, so all I need to do now is to place this onto a card base. So let me get these supplies ready for that. So I've put a mat on my cardstock. The card itself is only 5 3/4 wide. It's not 6 inches right quite. This is a shopboard one. I even cut it down just a little bit because there was a corner was a bit bent, so I just cut that down and I put the mat down accordingly. So all I need to do now is to place either foam tape or foam pads on the back. I just use these pads. These are the ones from Sellotape. I find them the best. And I just place these round like this. Oh, that's almost a bit too close to the edge. Actually, I might cut these down just a little bit because you want to leave a little bit of space just in case this is not centered. So I will just use my scissors, make sure I'm doing it on the right end, cut a few millimeters off, and then when I place them down I've got this bit of wiggle room. So I will just cover the whole area here just around there, and then I will just place it in the middle, and then I'll show you how we add an arrow. I thought I'd just show you my spacing. So this is what I've done. Oh, still need to take the release paper off. I have taken the one off that was sticking out a bit too much and put a shorter one on there. So that should give us enough support. So all I need to do now is to place it down properly so this is straight, and I can also have a look at these. Oops. Make sure also your card opens the right way before you stick this down. And this should fit right in the middle here. Some crafters like to add extra wet glue on foam pads, but these are good quality ones. I know they will stick. So depending on your design, you can have this like this, and I'm just thinking whether Lawn Fawn have got it the other way around. But I definitely want it like this, and this to be the reveal. So I'm just taking my Sharpie, and I'm just going to draw an arrow here on the acetate. So I think I will even do it like a bit of a circle, and give the arrow a bit of a bend there. If you have got a die, you could obviously die cut this with double-sided adhesive on the back and just stick this down, but I think this will be just enough. So I need that, give that a bit of a dry. I might have to stick something on there. It is hidden a little bit, but maybe that's part of the thing. So, and when the recipient gets it, they can open it and it reveals this bit here. Probably have to use it a few times so that it's run smoothly, but I think this is really cool. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how it turns out. And obviously there's so many possibilities with this. Also have a look at the Lawn Fawn videos. I'll probably link to it below, because you know you can use it in so many ways, and yeah, I think this is really cool. And if you think so too, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, you might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And I'll see you soon with another video.